Hi, Woman of Purpose. Charlene here, life purpose and strategy coach of Life More Abundantly Coaching. I help women in transition grow in their connection with Christ, self, community, and their calling so that they can experience hope, freedom, fulfillment, and walk fiercely in purpose. So, I wanted to share something with you today about a pitcher and a cup. I heard my friend say this about something her sister used to always tell her. And I thought it was interesting as it applies to growing in connection with Christ, yourself, community, and your calling. And so her sister used to always say, listen, girl, sometimes you are so busy being the pitcher that you forget that you need to be the cup sometimes. What do I mean? So I have a picture here. I'm in my kitchen. I have a picture here. It's empty. A pitcher that has nothing in it. And as we're serving people wherever God has called us to serve, in our purpose, whether it's in a ministry place, a marketplace, wherever you're called to serve, sometimes you are pouring or attempting to pour into people as you're serving them from an empty cup, just as serving them from an empty pitcher, meaning you're exhausted. You haven't been filled up. You haven't been growing in your connection with Christ recently. You haven't been intimate with him. And so as a result, what are you really pouring into the person that God is calling you to serve, or the people he's calling you to serve, right? And this can represent the people you're called to serve. So what are they getting? Not the best you, right? And sometimes what happens is because you haven't become the cup, right? To allow someone, that someone being Christ, to pour into you, you are left depleted. So you can't pour into anybody else. You can't really fulfill your God-given calling the way you need to. So what needs to happen? As you grow in your connection with Christ, right? I have some water here and I pray I don't spill it. But this is Christ, right? He's the water that fills us, that satisfies us, right? And so we grow in our connection with him and we connect to him intimately. If we're the pitcher, as he fills us up, right? This water that satisfies, and he can continually pour. As we stay connected to him, he continually pours into us. He continually pours into us. Now, this container can't hold but so much water. But he continually pours into us. And now we have a pitcher that's full. So now we've grown in our connection with Christ. We're getting connected with ourselves because we recognize that, wow, I'm now able to be filled up. I'm now able to, I was exhausted before, but now because I've connected with Christ, I can be filled up so that I can now grow in my calling, connection to my calling and my community, right? Those around me. And I can now pour into as I'm serving those I'm called to serve. I can pour because I've allowed myself to be filled up, right? And then there are times, right? Let me pour this water back. Then there are times when we need to be the cup. Sometimes we're the pitcher as we're serving others, and sometimes we need to be the cup and allow again God to fill us up. And as we're being filled by the Lord, we now can pour into others as well. That's the beauty of community. You see, when we connect with Christ, right, who fills us up, whether we are the cup or we are the pitcher, he fills us up so that we connect back with ourselves, right? We're no longer exhausted. We're no longer serving from an empty place, an empty cup, right? But we're serving from an overflowing place. So we connect with ourselves. We connect with our community, the community around us, the people relationships that surround us and support us, right? And they also pour into us and we also pour into them. And it connects also with our calling, the people we're called to serve. So it's a never-ending cycle. Whether I am the pitcher, I need to be filled up, right? So that I can do what I'm called to do by filling other people's cups. And sometimes I need to be the cup and allow the Lord to fill me. I'll encourage you today. Do you need to be the cup? Do you need to be filled up so that you can now then pour into others? Or do you find yourself as an empty pitcher? This is Phil now. Who's pouring out into people, but you're exhausted, you're frustrated, you may be angry, or whatever it is. And so you're pouring from an empty place into people that God has called you to serve. Wherever you find